Hello everyone, it's GigaBeef here, and today I'm going to show you why you need to be careful not to fall into the trap of using the UMP all the time. Since 12.12, this weapon has pretty much turned into the de facto budget gun at the beginning of a new patch, however it's not always the best to use. This is because of the ammo. Outside of leg meta, which we're not going to cover in this video, there are really only two rounds that get paired with the UMP, which is ACP Match FMJ and ACP AP. Initially, the UMP works wonders because Match FMJ is available at Peacekeeper 1, does an incredible amount of damage at 76, and the 25 penetration is pretty decent at getting through Class 3 armor. While it isn't an instant pen, given that the UMP does have a fantastic recoil profile, you can easily get multiple shots on target, and after the first hit with Match FMJ, you'll be above a 50% pen chance on each shot. The low fire rate helps to control the recoil, and the time to kill impact of this is made up for by the higher percentage of shots on target, which is the reason why it works so well. You can buy it from Peacekeeper 2 for cash, as well as bartering at Peacekeeper 1 with 7 black-handled knives, which are found plentifully on scavs, as well as being able to buy them directly from Fence for what ends up being 33,000 rubles. And what's more, you don't really have to mod it at all, and this all adds up to make the UMP one of the best early patch weapons. So why am I saying that we need to be careful and not use it for too long? Coming back to the ammo, the 25 penetration on FMJ is fine against Class 3, but much less so against Class 4. Putting the numbers into Veritas' Battle Buddy gives you a big fat 0 penetration chance on the first hit against Class 4, which I'm sure you can agree is not ideal. Even if you get their armor down to 50% durability with 1 or 2 shots, you're still only at an 11% pen chance. The lower fire rate of the UMP here actually really hurts its performance, as you need so many rounds to hit the armor to take it down to a level where you can get through and utilize the damage of the round. Plenty of players are already using Class 4 in their main kits after a few days, in no small part because it spawns fairly readily on scavs. As more players start using Class 4, this gun really begins to struggle, and you can end up in situations where it's extremely difficult to actually kill players that are geared decently. Although most of the player base are using Class 3 helmets with the rat neck, if anything, for Class 4 helmets the same argument stands. But that is not the end of the story. While I think that the 545 AKs are going to be the best thing to use in this period as Class 4 starts to emerge regularly, there is another important progression step that we need to look at. At Peacekeeper 3, which can happen as early as level 23 if you get lucky with Skier's Flash Drives quest and you make it through some of his progression quickly as well, players will unlock ACP AP, which revitalizes the UMP and makes it competitive again. Although it is expensive at $8 a round, the low RPM on the UMP helps to limit the costs, and the stats of 70 damage and 38 penetration are incredibly strong all the way through to the late mid-game. With a 65% chance to go through Class 4, which most players will be wearing for quite some time, and a very clean 2-shot kill to the thorax if it does, you can expect players to die in 3 hits at most. This is when the UMP comes back into its own, and you typically see players either using it as a super cheap SMG with the suppressor from Peacekeeper 2 for about 50k, or the vanilla version alongside a longer range weapon such as a bolt action on Lighthouse. The suppressor is really expensive, costing more than the whole gun, but given you don't have to do anything else to it modding wise for it to perform well in a recoil sense, it can be an option. Like all good things though, even the UMP comes to an end. While it works decently into the late game due to its price, players start to use it less once Class 5 armor comes into play. Even the mighty ACP AP starts to fall short, and with a 3% first hit chance against Class 5 and the low RPM that we've already spoken about, other weapons simply begin to look better. The classic upgrade would be to the 45 Vector, which although is a little wild on horizontal recoil, is an absolute monster in CQB, as the 1100 RPM is nearly double that of the humble UMP. It's still a respectable sidearm, but at this stage, even 545BT with its newly upgraded penetration of 40 has an easier time getting through Class 5, and most players will be using some combination of M855A1 for 556 with 44 pen, 762BP with 47 pen, or M80 and M62 from the 762 NATO calibers with 41 and 44 pen respectively. The lowest of these comparable rounds, M80, is only a 13% pen chance versus Class 5, so there is an argument to say that with the full auto and the great recoil on the UMP, this is somewhat comparable. But this is only true at close range, as ACP is an incredibly slow round, 299 meters per second default for ACP AP, which makes the M80 cartridge much more suitable for a wider set of applications. By the way, if you enjoy my type of Tarkov content, I co-host a weekly Tarkov podcast called ScavTalk, where we brainstorm all of this kind of topic and more. The link will be in the description below if you're interested. In terms of modding, given it has great base recoil, you can't improve it that much from how it comes out of the box. Personally, the choices are either suppressed or unsuppressed, and from there I just put the cheap Ergo foregrip on it from Peacekeeper 1, the VFG. This is because even the highest recoil reducing attachment in the game, the RK2, only lowers it by 3, which in my opinion just isn't worth it. I think you're better off taking the extra ergonomics and the budget option. Also, the irons on the UMP are quite decent, however, because you can't remove the front sight, some of the smaller optics are practically pointless to use on it. You have to attach something bigger, at least something like the EOTech Hollow, otherwise you may as well just use them stock. I did get convinced to run a raid with the Elcan and it did feel okay on the 1x, but again the speed of the rounds makes life pretty hard at longer ranges, so the 4x becomes a bit tricky to use. Next up, I'll be showing a bit of gameplay on interchange from early on in 12.12.30 so you can get an idea of the effective range of this thing in the first few days. Specifically watch the first clip and see the incredible distance at which the UMP performs well at stock. This is pretty much unmatched by the other weapons at level 1. Wouldn't it be hilarious to find Killer now? Wouldn't that just be truly funny? Oh, I'm right by the entrance. Right. Ow. No, it blacks my frickin' limb. Hello? Excuse me? The hell is this, like, infinite scav? He tanked like a champ. Gonna have a look. One nade, okay. To get the XP and then go around. That was a great case of, like, there's always another, by the way. Like someone upstairs. The beauty of the UMP as well is that the recoil is so low you could just beam people from that distance. Actually nuts. What do they have? Level 1 and a Berkut. One of the first raids for these guys. Shots from a distance. I'm thinking maybe we just, like, come up the stairs now. Go all the way through to the back. This direction. It's quicker this way. Yeah, the UMP does have a very low fire rate. But that's partly why it is so good. Partly why the recoil is so good. This is the point at which you get scabbed from, like, 3,000 miles away going, oh no. So someone's been through here as well. Scav player. Sounds kind of scabby. Someone took something. Okay. This one was a scav up there, almost certainly. Whoa! Gav says whoa. One, 3, 3. You didn't say the bottle of water the funny way. Say the funny word. Ah. Opened. Everything is just going to be scraped in this area, I'm pretty certain. So the only thing we need is two cans of iced green tea and 1 soda. Tarcola it is, sorry. Soda. Tarcola. Like something out of a horror film. And tell me Tarkov isn't a horror game, eh? Someone dead up there. Or is that just rubbish? How did the scav get up there?
Вон он, бля, ебать его! Гадина, тварь!
Scavs are just immortal. God damn. Another one. Hey, scavs. We've got enough meds, so if I take that out, if I put that in here, take the counter into there, we have a little bit more space. Right, what's this one? Fighter juice. Can't see anything else down here now. Okay.
Сука, ёбнули наши!
Let's go. Let's try and get out. I've bought 4 mags now. Ain't no way I'm jumping up there. That raid's probably a lot of XP actually, because we killed lots of scavs. Next up, go and check out my efficient kits guide for fighting against class 4 armor to fill that early mid-game gap using a budget AK-74U and the AK-74N with PP ammo. Otherwise, as usual, a big shout out to all my patrons, hit all the buttons if you enjoyed the video, and as always, have fun in your raids.